And if you can just get to the point, guys, where when these things happen, you immediately shift to, what are you teaching me?
In the middle of this crisis, the coronavirus, COVID-19, how can a man step up during this time?
Well, one thing God's done here, Blake, and y'all may have already talked about this, we can't really argue with this. We can't say we don't have the time right now, can we? If we said, yeah, I needed to start discipling my family, I needed to be sitting down and working through a Bible study and leading my children and leading my wife, or if you don't have a wife and child, man, I just wish I had more time to devote to scriptures, or to devote to hearing some messages, devote to getting into, this. You really can't say that you're too busy right now. Most of us, I know there's exceptions, but most of us have been given time. Look, let me tell you something. I can't believe the time that I have right now. God took my speaking tour and he squashed it. It's over. And, as I said, my wife is starting to say to me, I miss missing you. It's like you're here all the time. She's so glad that you're interviewing me today, because I would already be home again. But anyway, so what's happened is I said, well, then this time has been given to me for some reason. Certainly it's to spend quality time with our wives that we don't. Certainly it's to spend quality time. I have college kids that are back home, and that I wasn't seeing hardly at all. They're in my house every day now because college is canceled, and they're doing some online courses, but they're in the house. So we need to take this time that God has given us. And if you can just get to the point, guys, where when these things happen, you immediately shift to, what are you teaching me? Don't waste this. If you have been saying over and over again, I would do this in my spiritual life if I only had time. Hey, fellas, you got time. So, that excuse that you've been making, God said, I'm going to take that off the table for you. When will I get back to my regular work? You know what God's saying? I don't know. I don't let you in on that. I know, but you don't. He's not going to let us in on this. We thought we were going to be back in a couple of weeks. We've been told April 30th. That April 30th day could move again. And what I would say is what I said earlier in this interview, let's stop trying to get back to normal. Let's take this time and be sure when we get back, it's a new normal. Because undoubtedly, since God has allowed this to happen, the normal we had before was not what he was looking for. Okay? Nobody teaches like the Lord. So maybe you want to take advantage of some of the things we've talked about. Maybe this is the time for you to start getting a game plan on what you're going to do at your church. My pastor told me when I came up to him and came the big complainer about the men's ministry, I give him credit. He says, well, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to be another guy that comes and knocks on my door at the office and always talks about the problem? Are you going to be part of the solution? And so he challenged me to come back with a game plan, and we did. And to his credit, he says, run with it. And it's still going, 4 years later. There's something that God is trying to get our attention on, and it varies wildly across the men who are watching and listening to this. You need to take this time and figure that out. Certainly you spend time with your wife. Certainly you spend time with your children, but you need to be spending time with the Lord because he has certainly given it to you.